What's going on, Californians? Today I have a very, very, very special guest. She is the queen of the bundle, guys. If you guys don't already know her, this is Gaylan Hendricks, one of my favorite people in the industry. Should be one of your favorites too. Inspired me to do a lot of cool stuff, and here I am going to the trips with her, and here we are sitting next to a beach and an infinity pool.
I don't know if you can see it. We can. And my question to Andrew is, hey, why are you the only California agent here? I mean, guys, come on. I know you all love Texas, right?
Love Texas.
But I love California, and I want to see you guys on these trips. And so hopefully today we can talk about some things that will get everybody excited. I'm looking at my hair, you can tell, beach hair. I've got the waves going on, but I think that's the way we go. Wish you guys were here.
There we go. That's the thumbnail. So,
yeah.
Guys, a little more about Gaylan. So, she is the, president, founder, all of the above of Senior Security Benefits, who I'm under, and partnered with, and I just love it, right? I just love hanging out with her. She's always awesome to me. She's done really cool things to the industry as well too, and obviously on a personal level, love her. So again, I just want to give you some of your flowers and introduce you to the Californians out there. So
we're gonna go there, right? We're gonna try to do an in-person rally. So we're going to find a central place in California that all you guys can rally to, and hopefully we can bring you some value in your state. One of the things I really need all of your help on is, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but in the state of California, we are not allowed to write cancer plans on people that turn 65, which to me is just tragic. I mean, it's the largest Med Advantage state, probably next to Ohio, in the country. And you're not allowed to write a product that can protect your clients from spending their life savings. And so when you're looking at who to put in the insurance commissioner's office, let's make sure that they know what our clients need. Some of the commissioners are so busy working on property and casualty, they forget about health insurance. Not because it's intentional, but because they've got so many other things going on with the property and casualty part of their job. So make sure you write into them. Make sure that they understand that their client's zero premium plan, if they had to meet the max out of pocket of $8,300, it could go to $691 a month. And that's a lot of money for a senior to have to come up with, because most of the seniors on zero premium are on zero premium because they really can't afford a Medicare supplement. And I will tell you, I do a little taste test. And this is how I get a little bitterness from the agent population from time to time, is I'll say, man, you're killing it with zero premium plan out there. And I get it, because the commercials kind of drive it. Don't forget, Joe doesn't know and JJ's not the way. They don't have a license. Y'all do. And your clients need educating, because you would probably take a med sup. When I turn 65, I'm going to have a med sup. Most clients want a med sup, but when they hear zero premium, they think that's where they need to be until they use it. We had a great panel this morning, which was awesome. Manhattan Life had some of the best on stage, and agents could ask questions, and Todd Hayden threw us some questions. Well, what we heard from my business partner, Taylor Martin, was that, most clients don't realize what zero premium truly is until time of usage.
Right.
And when they go to use it, then they find out that they've got all this out-of-pocket expense. So what we do as Queen of the Bundle is we bring you training programs in the senior market. But one of the things this guy does, and I do differently, is we're getting our clients younger and younger and younger, so they become your client when they T65, and you're not fighting the TV commercials. They're already your peep. And so what we've got to do a better job of is training you guys on how to get more spouse in the house exploration in your presentation. And that's probably why people consider me the success I am, is because I've always bundle sold. I've been doing this for 38 years. And from the time I started selling, and even before selling, our agency was all about package of protection, wraparound products, how we protect these large deductibles, exposing your finances. One of those guys is the biggest one, and we can't sell that one in the state of California either. And it's a short-term recovery care type plan. So what we have found out, not by knowing it all, but by living it all with my mother, there's two things. My dad died of cancer at 52. Financial devastation killed my father. Had he had a cancer plan, I think he would have at least lived the minimum or the maximum, but he was given 6 weeks to 3 years to live, and he lived 5 weeks and 5 days because he was a life agent, so he wished the death would just come sooner. And that's the hardest thing in the world for a daughter to hear. And your clients are going to have to tell their sons and daughters those types of things. And what we've learned and what we've started training agents on is how to sell those beneficiaries' children. So like if I were visiting with Andrew and said, okay, Andrew, your mom said I needed to visit with you about her senior health insurance package. One of the things I want to talk to you about is what she could be exposed to financially if she were to start using her plan. And most of your clients are going to have 3 objections. It doesn't matter if you're selling pots and pans or insurance. It's, I can't afford it. Well, if you can't afford a $30 monthly premium, you're not going to be able to afford 0 premium. And as backwards as that sounds, it's truth. Because when they start using that plans, when they find out they've got all this out-of-pocket exposure, right? The other one is, hey, I got to check with Andrew, or I got to check with Gaylan on this. Fantastic. What's their phone number? I don't expect you to retain this. You got to the promised land of insurance. Let me take care of that for you. Give me Andrew's phone number. Is Andrew your only child, or is Andrew the only child that takes care of your health insurance? Who else do we need to get on the call? Well, yeah, that's it. Okay, well, great. Let's get him on the phone. Well, you've eliminated right there that they've got to check with somebody, and you've eliminated the fact of, I can't afford it, because when I get Andrew on the phone, I'm going to make sure Andrew understands what his mother's out-of-pocket's going to be if she's that 1 out of 3 female that gets diagnosed with cancer, or she's that 87 percentile, which if y'all don't know that statistic, go look at your Aetna brochure, because guess what? You can write every Californian who's 64 and a half. Get them prepared, because once they buy the plan, they can keep it forever. It's guaranteed renewable. So start calling clients younger. Start hitting the 50-year-old list. Start getting those folks in this cancer plan. A lot of them have group coverage. A lot of them have ACA coverage. But you need to explain to them why you're bringing in this cancer plan now. Also, lock-in leads. How many agents complain about lead cost?
Right.
Or how many agents say, I don't have enough leads? Well, if you call the lock-in leads or the age data, guess what? You could be stealing someone else's client from them, but you're not really stealing them. They're up for the taking because the agent didn't do a good job. The agent didn't talk to them about the full package of protection. So in California, we want to try to get all those products written before they turn 65. They're not being told that on TV. They're not being told that in social media. So that is an advantage that you guys need to know about. And guess what? Your carriers aren't telling you this.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
Right.
That's what we're here for. So let us help you help your client.
I mean, that's a nugget, right? And of course, you're the queen of the bundle. And a lot of people, you have to bundle things because one, it's protection. It's protection on protection. And two, obviously, we're in Mexico right now, having a nice cocktail.
Cheers.
And, there's money involved in this. And a lot of people don't think that there is and bundling also helps out with that. But obviously you're doing right by the client, but this is just a
perk.
A perk.
So
Exactly.
Guaranteed renewable products is my new tagline. Guaranteed renewable is guaranteed renewal for you, the agent. So if you're writing government plans, which are Med Advantage plans and ACA plans, those are only 12-month plans. So you may be getting first-year commission, but you're not getting renewals. And those companies have the right to be able to continue that plan or not. So if they cancel that plan, They may go with the newest, greatest person that just called them, and you lost your client. This building the package of protection takes care of that. And so what we want to do is help you be a better agent. We want you to also be able to talk to your insurance commissioner and say, this is why we do this. It's compliance. And y'all, it's better protection than all the E&O insurance that you could purchase. Because an E&O insurance policy is always going to boil down to misrepresentation. If you get your client to sign a declination form, you can create it yourself. We'll share it on a training that we'll do there. But they're basically saying, I don't want the cancer plan. My agent explained to me the out-of-pocket. My agent talked to me about the 20% out-of-pocket chemo radiation. You get a complaint, you send that off, you're done. No lawyer's going to jack with you. They might jack with the carrier, but they're not going to jack with you because you got the client to sign that. Also, if you call those people back the next day and say, hey, I really feel bad that I left you unprotected on cancer. I need you to sign a form that you're turning it down. Then you've given the clients 12 to 24 hours, but you're also having another chance at selling that. And you'll sell about a third of those you call back because they've thought about it and they're like, oh, I don't know. Also, they're adult children. They would do anything to keep their parents alive. I mean, there are certain times in our lives when we're like, oh my gosh, my parent doesn't know that I know it all. They need to leave me alone. But you get to a point of life where you're like, I would do anything for my parents. And it was a pleasure taking care of my mom and my dad. So I told you a little bit about my dad. My mom at 72 died. And she died because she was in an assisted living nursing home, whatever you want to call it, for 18 months. And I swear she hated the place. These places are not places you would even leave your dogs. I mean, so being able to sell these short-term recovery care plans and getting your clients in them, because when they turn 65, they're not going to be able to afford long-term care. They're not going to be able to qualify for it 9 out of 10 times. So start selling them younger, and you'll have a longer lifetime renewal on those clients.
Guys, and the way, so when I first met Gaylan, I think the first conversation we ever had was you going against the state of California to make some provisions for our state. Now, personally, I don't know anybody else besides Gaylan that did that.
Well, it was the federal government.
The federal government, okay.
California is a state of the federal government.
Gotcha, okay.
But we did sue the federal government in order to keep Affordable Choice, which is a Manhattan Life company, which is who we're here with. And I will tell you that having somebody that owns a company believe in one of their national sales directors so much and spends the money. I always say David Harris spent the money and I gave the testimony. I was the only testimony in that case. And we won in our state court, which was Washington, D.C. at the time. And then we won in the federal appeals court because the government sued us, counter appealed, sued us again, and we won. And we won 2-1. It was a 3-judge group of people. But what they found out was that what the government was jumping up and down about indemnity plans, they later found out that these under age 65 hospital indemnity plans are actually richer in benefit than even an ACA plan 90% of the time. There are 10% of the times when the claims are going to be over $15,000 and you could have some catastrophic loss. But one of the things that we do in this new training that I've built that we're getting ready to go live with Manhattan Life next Wednesday. So if you're not contracted with Manhattan Life, call Andrew and let's get you contracted. And you guys need to be on these calls because I'm telling you, I'm going to bring what I used for years in my call center. And it's a way for a person that has no subsidy whatsoever from healthcare.gov to a person that's fully subsidized, and how building these package of protection makes money for you and your family, but also creates a package of security for your client if they were to ever be in those tough waters. And there's nothing worse than being at sea in high waves and no life preserver, right? I don't want to fall out of that boat. You've got to protect your clients because those are going to come. The older they get, the worse health becomes. And we're the best financial planner that our clients have because we're protecting their assets that earn them interest that they're living off of. Some of you are saying, my clients don't have a bucket or a pot to pee in. And I know that sounds horrible, but that's what you're thinking, right? Well, it's even more important to protect those clients because those clients need quality health care too. And the only way they get quality health care is by private insurance. And so we want to make sure that all of our clients know what all these private policies are that they can buy. And if you're in the state of California, here's what you got to be worried against. So if you buy a ancillary plan, some carriers call it ancillary. It's ancillary.
I'm guilty of that.
Yes. They're also called just hospital indemnity. And we protected all of those hospital indemnity plans in the lawsuit. A lot of people think we just protected the underage 65 hospital indemnity. All of these plans, because I filed these plans for years earlier in my career, so I knew how they were written. They're all cash hospital indemnification plans. And they do not have to be assigned to any provider or hospital. They're cash. So you can negotiate with dentists, you can negotiate with a hospital, you can negotiate with a provider. And then the government plan, which is the ACA plan if they have it, or the Med Advantage plan or the Med Sup can be assigned, group policies. Sell people that have group insurance a cancer plan all day. Because when they get ready to retire, guess what story they hear? Mrs. Jones, you cannot take your dental with you, and you can't take your life insurance with you. So you know what that implies to the senior? I can't buy it now that I'm retired. Only 12% of clients over 65 have dental, vision, and hearing.
Cool.
And it's because agents don't bring it up because they think, I'm not going to sell a $1,500 benefit for $30 a month.
Right.
And I'm going to ask you, why the hell not? Right. Sorry to get a little tacky. I'm sassy.
Hey, I'm the same way.
I'm from the South. Why wouldn't you do that? You could wipe out 3 months of income with a root canal and a crown. And those clients can't afford that. But they're taking care of credit in the dental office. And they're paying 18% interest because the dentist is charging them way too much. With Manhattan Life, we have an advocate that you can call and find out what the cheapest price is for that. And if your dentist is charging you 8 times for an implant, I had a friend that was mad at Manhattan Life, and she told me she was paying $800 for one tooth. I'm like, the average is $200. Why are you paying 4 times? And she didn't know. And she was mad at the insurance company. So with the world of artificial intelligence, with the world of government on TV not explaining things correctly to your client, just if y'all aren't calling the 800 numbers, call them. They literally ask you, what's your MBI number? What's your date of birth? Bam. You'll have your policy in 2 weeks. They're not explaining what that plan is.
Right.
And do you know what the first thing is scrolling down the Joe Namath commercial? Dental, vision, and hearing.
Ooh, okay.
They're not even talking about health insurance.
Right, okay.
But it's your health insurance. 0 premium.
Right.
And you got a list this long of all these things. And I will still bet you will not find a Med Advantage plan with all the things scrolling down the TV if you can keep up with it. Right? So it's our job to educate. Artificial intelligence just puts us where we need to be, right? Don't be scared of it. I personally think it's a great thing.
Yeah.
I think it saves us as agents a lot of time, and I think it helps us be more efficient at our job. But if you're not bundling or putting a package of protection on your client, you are not the agent they need. You're just not. And somebody's going to come behind you and take your business because you're allowing them to do that. The more policies you have on a household, they see you as their agent. And I hear so many health agents, Andrew, say, oh gosh, I can outsell my property and casualty agent down the street, but he just keeps lying to clients. No, he knows how to bundle sell.
Right.
Flo's not that great with Progressive. She's not. I've been doing it a lot longer. But they're selling property and casualty.
Right.
And they will sell life. They will sell this. Only 20% of the population has life insurance, and I think it's because they don't include the final expense plans. But I'm working on stats on that right now to figure out where that's coming from. But y'all, 1 out of 1 people still die, and we don't even bring it up. And I know you negative Neds and Nellies are sitting there going, we can't do that on scope of appointment. If you set the call up right, you simply say, CMS says I have to get a 48-hour window before I can talk to you about your zero premium plans. So I'm going to get you to sign this, and in 48 hours, I'll spend about 10 to 15 minutes going over that plan with you. But today, I'm going to talk about the state insurance plans, the ones that are regulated by state insurance commissioners, guaranteed renewable plans. I'm going to talk to you about Medicare supplement. I'm going to talk to you about the package of protection that goes along with that. But once we get the scope of appointment signed, I'm not allowed to talk to you about life insurance. And John or Andrew or whoever takes care of Mom, what life insurance does she have in place? Are y'all going to have to pull cash out of your 401k? Because you're not just pulling the cash out, you're also paying a penalty to the IRS. So why not pay $1 a day and have this set aside for your mother, and y'all be the owners or the beneficiary of it? And then you have money set aside. By the way, have you thought about if she has to go into a nursing home or assisted living? What do you have on her for that? These kids will pay the premiums for Mom and Dad so they don't have to pull it out of their 401ks. We need to do a better job of getting to know our beneficiaries' families, not just because of taking care of their mom, but now we've opened the door to write them an affordable choice with Manhattan or a dental, vision, and hearing on the family. Because a lot of the millennials don't have 6 months of savings in a bank account. What did we learn during COVID? These people figured out they don't have to work.
Right.
They would rather take a job with less money. That's why it's so hard to get talent right now.
Right.
But they don't have that money sitting in the bank account. But they don't want their mom or dad to suffer. They don't want to suffer. And I'll tell you what, when I signed that $135 a day guarantee, putting my mother in an assisted living place, I'm telling y'all, I got a bill every 30 days. And at the end of 90 days, you get a letter saying Medicaid pending is getting ready to expire. You need to refile the paperwork. So think about if you got a bill for 90 days at $135 a day for your mother and you guaranteed that. You're going to pay it. And sometimes you don't have siblings that can help you with that. So I hope y'all got something out of that.
That's a lot, right? I mean, guys, rewatch this video because she just dropped nuggets on like 4 different types of products. So rewatch this video. Again, the hot topic right now is the scope. If you guys have trouble with it, she just literally just broke it down right now. So rewatch that part if you guys are sort of hung up on that 48-hour rule. But that was a lot, guys. Again, rewatch this video, I'm telling you. I want to be respectful of your vacation time right now. So
yours too.
All right, there we go. So one last question for you. How can somebody from California get here? What do they need to do?
Oh my gosh. So 2 things. I mean, that's a loaded question right there. This guy got here primarily all dental, vision, and hearing, which just blows my mind. Do you know how much premium that took? Call and ask him. That's how you get here. That's really the simplest answer. But I think being able to have the sell something mentality. Any agency I've ever ran, operated, worked with, I mean, I thought I was hot until I was talking to a guy today. He's averaging 4.9 policies per household. We were at 3, and carriers thought we were killing it. But I think if you write more than 2, they trusted you once, they'll trust you again and again and again. But it's so easy to get here on the Manhattan Life trip. The affordable choice product alone. Do you know what the number 1 cause of bankruptcy is? Medical bills. Medical bills. Even if you just had affordable choice and nothing else, you could still negotiate your way out. We've got 2 testimonials, one by our friend Scotty, that you know very well, that works with me, and another employee of mine they believed in our products so much, and the way that I taught our agents how to sell them, they bought them on themselves. And they have 2 great videos we'll share with you guys in a training that we've recently built on the Under Age 65 platform. This will get you more senior clients than you ever thought possible. When you write somebody at age 60 a true guaranteed renewable plan that's not a short-term medical that is going to expire or go way up on them, and you can show them what their true value is of that plan, that's when you go from zero to hero, and your check goes from zero to a lot of zeros. And that's what we all want. It's okay to want prosperity and joy. We're promised that from the good book. And I am not afraid of being prosperous, and I'm not afraid of being joyful. You shouldn't either. It's a great thing when you're here. We've kind of gotten into conference junkitis, right? Everybody's spending money to go to conference. I see some of these diamond tickets for $6,000. I'm like, I would never pay $6,000 to go to a conference. I would never pay $6,000 to go to someone's agency. I just wouldn't do it. I would spend it on leads. Right. I trust in myself more than I trust in somebody else. But that's okay if that's what you're doing. That's just not what I would do. And I'm asked to speak at these conferences, and I will always come where I am asked. But you need to be at conventions. These are the best in your business, and I've never, ever had somebody tell me they wouldn't share with me. When you belly up to a bar or a table or a pool, you're getting best business practices, and you're not paying $6,000. You have to ask yourself, what is the person that's charging me $6,000 for doing for my business? And if you can't extrapolate that $6,000 into at least $18,000 of income, you don't need to be doing $6,000 tickets. And I'm probably making a lot of people mad and get some hate mail, but that's okay because it's true.
It's true.
It's transparency.
Right.
I met a lot of the great people I know through some of these conferences. But I will tell you, once you've done it, you don't need to do it again and again and again. You take away nuggets, you apply them to your business, and you make money at it. But the sharing comes from right here. These guys that are the best and the best. And ladies, I'm not eliminating you. I've just always used the word guys. I think California uses that a lot, right?
Yeah.
And we use y'all in Texas. Everybody's a y'all, and everybody's, hey guys, let's go. But I do think it's really important to be in the right places with your dollars. And that's one of the things that really breaks my heart. I've seen a lot of people sign on to these TikToks. They're advertising with different TikTok organizations, and they don't know nothing. They don't know anything about our business. Right. They don't know as much as you do. I mean, if you got knocked down on 8 leads yesterday, you know more than the people from the stage because you're on the front line. Right. Remember, General MacArthur said, I'm going to equip the front line with every bullet they need, every weapon they need. You don't pay $6 to $8 grand for a seat for that. I get $400 or $500, but you're paying for the whole damn conference, and they're getting sponsorship dollars in. If they're losing money on a conference, well, they need to change their model. You don't need to change your model. Your model is your lane. So one of the things I think is really important for you personal producers out there, it's okay to be a personal producer. The reason multi-level got such a bad name was because they kept practicing the Rita theory. Recruiting is the answer. Recruiting is the answer. I've seen a lot of people go broke recruiting.
Right.
As long as you keep personal producing, personal production coming in, which is what I did when I built my business, that's how you become a dynamo. Because people follow. I got called a dinosaur about 2 years ago by a group that just was jealous, to be honest. And I literally took that and I said, well, one thing about this dinosaur, I don't S-A-U-R, I S-O-A-R. I'm going to soar right past you. And that's, you got to remember, haters are going to hate if you're successful.
Right.
It doesn't mean that's who you are. That's just what they say.
Right.
You stick to your lane.
Yeah.
You write a lot of business. You keep making money, because the only people that are going to care about you at the end, my dad used to say, it's this 5 that you shake hands with. You got 5 people you got to impress and worry about their opinions. Well, I'm a hugger, so I got 10. But don't worry about everybody outside your group. Worry about you, your lane, your production. And if the others love you, they'll be there to celebrate your successes. And that's what it's all about. We're all here celebrating everybody's successes. I'm so proud of this guy. I'm so proud of everybody that's here. It's hard to get to these. I think Todd Hayden said it today. We're like part of he said it's not the 8% or the 20%, it's the 1%. And I want to be part of that 1%. And, everybody putting themselves in a box. Well, women over here, men over here. Well, last time I checked, we're all people. So we all need to work together and support one another.
Beautifully put. And guys, if that didn't inspire you, I don't know what will. And again, I totally agree. Your own pen is what's going to actually make you
mightier than the sword.
Mightier than the sword. We'll have you coming out to conferences where it's actually free. This convention is free. Anything
you spend, you can write off as a business expense.
I mean, they gave us like a little bit of money to spend too. If anything, they paid us to be here.
Yeah.
And this is all because of production, personal production. It's not. I understand that's not the sexiest part of our. But, everybody wants to do whatever, a conference or downline, and I have a bunch of agents, but hey, what's going to actually get you here is your personal production. So
that's right.
That's
always and forever. And I think something you said right there is really good, Andrew, for people listening, is that we're at the Four Seasons.
Right.
The 4 freaking seasons. Most people, like when I'm in California, I don't even know that I can walk in a Four Seasons. I mean, my drink's gonna be like $100. Right. But we're at the Four Seasons. Our accommodations are spectacular. We're on a newer part of Puerto Vallarta that's just been built out into an amazing area. And right here, the weather's very nice in the shade. So get to conventions. Start setting your sights on, how do I get at a pull with Andrew Lee? How do I get in front of people that have been doing this for years that care about my growth? And have your circle be those people. You can have the greatest CRM in the world, but if you're not writing business, a CRM is useless.
Right.
I would rather be out writing a crap load of business and have an Excel spreadsheet. I mean, shoot, I can get you a free CRM. Call me. I know people. But this is your time. Your clients need you. And yes, you need tools to run a business. I'm not saying that. But a lot of you are putting the cart before the horse. You're going out there spending fortunes on CRMs, conferences, and you hadn't even written your first $10,000 production week. I mean, when I was building my businesses, conferences were the last thing on my mind.
Right.
I wanted to be here. And Taylor Martin will tell you, I put ourselves in many a room where we were like just starting. And these guys at the top of the leaderboard had written tons of business and had been there for years. And I would say, Taylor, and I would make it known to the whole group of people, we're going to be number 1. And Taylor would be like, don't say that any louder. Don't say that any louder. Well, guess what? Our first year we came back, we were number 3.
Whoa, okay.
But we went to not being even on the leaderboard to number 3. When you set your sights on success, there's nothing that can stop you. Nothing. But I am going to do a little PSA here and say, make your dollars count.
Yeah.
If you're spending thousands of dollars on a ticket to sit on a front row of a conference, then I better be sitting with an Andrew Lee or a Gaylan or an AIMC or Premier, all the agent pipeline, senior security benefits. Sit with the people who are doing it, not with people who may have done it or are thinking about doing it, because you're paying their payroll. Pay your own. So you can help later on. Maybe you need sponsorship. Maybe you need brand recognition. Okay, well now you've made enough money, you can go out there and pay for that $5,000 ticket if that's what you want to do. But don't put the cart before the horse. Use your pen. And we may just have to put that as our next tagline. Because your pen is mightier than the sword.
Right.
And I think that's probably the most important thing said today.
Yeah.
Is your pen. And I would just keep that in the back of my mind at every decision I make in growing my business. Where's my pen?
Right.
Who am I taking care of? Get referrals. Set yourself high goals on grassroots marketing. Grassroots marketing it's retro now. It's the in thing. Because nobody's doing it. Everybody's doing email. Everybody's doing Facebook. Everybody's doing blah, 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 blah. Go out there and peddle. Do what we always did. You know what they said? In Smokey and the Bandit. That's an old movie, by the way. Go Google it. Had Burt Reynolds, Sally Field. I know y'all all know how to Google. But it was pedal to the metal. Get you there faster.
Yeah.
So put the pedal to the metal.
Love that. And that's what we all need, right? I mean, I needed that a little bit, and I'm on a carrier trip right now, for God's sakes, right? So, I mean, guys, take this how you will, but this is how you turn up to one of these events, is just doing the work and just making sure you're working smarter, not harder, and listening to people like Gaylan. So, guys, I appreciate your guys' time. I appreciate your time. Thanks for hopping on.
We forgot to tell them the most important thing. Manhattan Life's getting ready to announce their President's Club trip.
Ooh.
And qualification just started, and they're extending it a month.
Okay.
So you all have a chance to be at the next place.
I want to see you there. I'm the only guy from California.
It's a
always
lonely
at these
place
things.
for
It's
Andrew.
super lonely. Look at me.
We got lots of Texans here. Let's make it a competition thing.
Whoa.
I'm going to go count all the Texans at the pool. Not the Houston Texans, by the way, because I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. Texans. We're going to go count the Texans, and we're going to count the Californians. And poor Andrew is going to be solo. Don't let him be solo on the next trip.
I met a guy who was like a lawyer from California. That's one guy, right? So, guys, I mean, just with that being said, please take your business seriously. We obviously are. We're having a drink about it, but take on a normal basis. Take your business seriously, so you can be the best producer you can be and turn up to these things. So, again, Gaylan, I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
See you soon.